Hi, this is Miss Andrea. I'm one of the STEM educators here, and I'm an eco station at the Children's Museum of Houston. I'm going to be doing a project with you today sponsored by the Strake Foundation. And this is the time of year where all of the leaves start to change color and fall from the trees. And I'm not sure if you know why that happens, but the project I'm going to do today takes advantage of the fact that it happens. We're going to use nature's beautiful colors to make something that will brighten your winter, hopefully your winter and your fall. So I hope that you enjoy this project. We're going to go ahead and get started. So the materials that you will need for this project are, you're going to need a jar. I got this one from the dollar store. There's also your canning jars. This was a jam jar, so it was just like I used my jar to make my toast, the jelly that was in there, and then I saved my jar. So it can be totally recycled. The other thing that you're going to need is, I collected a lot of leaves from around the area where I'm at. I was lucky because there were some that had some reds in them, some that had some yellow in them. But the thing to remember with these, as soon as you collect them, you need to put them between paper and put something heavy on top of them, like books, because if not, they're going to wrinkle up. And that way they can dry. They need to dry, if you can, at least 2 weeks. I did mine's a week and they were okay, but it just depends on how dry they already are. So you're going to need some natural leaves. You're going to need Mod Podge. But if you don't have Mod Podge, you can probably use clear glue. Clear glue is a little bit easier to get if you need it. When I did this one, I didn't like the edges, and in order to do this right, it's harder to do it on the curve, so it's better, like this would be if you did like a spaghetti jar. A spaghetti jar is very close to this. It's more square. That's probably a lot easier to do because it's hard to do around the rounded parts. When the candle was on, it looked great with the leaves, but when it was off, it didn't look as good, so I added the glitter on the top and the bottom. And so you can add some glitter. I used blue because it goes really well with the oranges and the yellows and the browns, but you can use whatever color you want. And then you need a ribbon. I like this one because I have a lot of brown tones in here, a lot of more duller tones, and so I wanted something very, very bright, so I got this nice green ribbon, but you can really use any ribbon. And then you need a little candle to go inside. What I have inside of mine are candles that are LED lights. And so that way there's no chance of any kind of fire at my house, and I still get the nice light on it. You will also need, this is also recycle. This is an applesauce container. When I do yogurt or applesauce or anything like that, olives, I wash them out and I keep them for my containers so that you can put your Mod Podge. So it's another good recycling thing. If you like to paint and stuff, these are really good for water and for paint. And I did get some tissue paper and some fake leaves. I think the real leaves are much prettier. If you really can't find any leaves that are different colors and you still want to do this project, you can use the fake ones. The fake ones actually come out really nice. They're just, I would rather have the real thing, but you can use these if you want. And you can even just use the tissue paper. So that's basically all you will need for this project. Okay, so you're going to take some of the Mod Podge and you are going to make sure that it's a big enough area to cover your leaf. So you want to do this. You don't want it too thick because then it's going to cause a problem and then it's going to dry a lot slower. And you want to make sure, give it a few minutes to become sticky. It has to become sticky because if it doesn't, you're going to have a really hard time getting it to stay on there and you're going to get really frustrated. So wait till it gets sticky. While you're waiting for it to get sticky, you're going to put the Mod Podge on the leaf, just like that. Now this one you can cover a little bit more with the Mod Podge. You can even do the other side. You are going to get sticky, so just be, if you're a person who likes to keep your fingers clean, you might have to keep a little clean towel there, but I would just say it's just gonna happen. Oh, you know what? I didn't wait for it to get sticky. We're gonna have to wait a minute. I did want to show you, I used some tissue paper. You can make even leaves out of tissue paper and do it. The light comes really nice through the tissue paper. I just like this project because this is really something out there that nature's already made. It's beautiful. I love all of the little lines in it and the texture of it and the thought of using something that's outside. So we're gonna wait for this to get a little bit sticky. Okay, and then once it's sticky, takes a few minutes, then you're gonna put it on there. You've gotta keep your fingers on it to push it down, to get it to really start sticking. And then once you feel it sticking, go to the areas, start from the middle and go out so you don't get air pockets in there. And then once that's on there and you feel like it's sticking pretty good, then you'll start coming to the edges and you'll start putting. So it does take a little bit of patience, especially if you're using something that's very rounded. But you just have to keep coming on top of it and adding more. And the more that you put on those little edges, the better. If they stay raised a little bit, it's okay. It's not really a big deal because it's not like it's gonna peel off, and you can come back later and put some more. So I always look at my next step. Where would this look better? It's not gonna look good right beside it. It's not gonna look good over here. You really wanna, I like this one because it kind of points back in. It points back into the leaf. And so there's some like continuity. And so that's where I'm gonna put my next one. So I'm and I put some more here. Remember, you want it to get sticky, so as you're waiting for that one, now see how I still have my finger on this one? I'm making sure that it's staying, and then as this one is getting sticky, then I'm going back to this one and I'm adding some more Mod Podge. And I'll just keep adding some more until I feel like it's really staying down the way that I want to stay down. See how it's now sticking more to the jar than it was. And so sometimes you might have to do it in, give it a little bit of time in between, or start on the other side as that's drying and then coming and checking on this. But I would go ahead and say that that's pretty good sticky. So as that one is getting, oops, looks like I want the red side to the outside. So once again, you take your Mod Podge and you're going to put lots of Mod Podge on it. Is it sticky? Yeah, pretty much it's sticky. The trick is to do real thin layers. And then once you have that on, gotta make it stick. So remember, put your hand on it, push it down. It really takes quite a bit of patience, but the payoff is really nice because you get these really beautiful leaves and you get all the texture of the real leaves. Yeah, the fake ones are really nice and bright, but I really like using nature and stuff that I can find outside. It's like you can make really beautiful art from the things that you find in your yard that nature already produces, and then you're gonna hold it down like that. And so those spots in between, you don't wanna really like overlap a lot because the light won't go through the leaves. And so you can take the, like I was saying, the fake leaves and cut a little bit. I would do it at the end. Look at where you need accent, look at where you need highlight, and then cut those out and put them in there. So I would take like the tip of this, the little orange part, I would cut one of those and maybe put it here if I have another leaf here and I need something to fill in that space. And then it just kind of makes it pop. So you can kind of get an idea of how this is working. So I just wanted you to see what it looks like when the lights are dim and you can really enjoy your candle. You can really see the nice veins on these leaves, and I kind of like the areas of Mod Podge that aren't covered. It kind of gives it a frosty look. And you can see the glitter. The glitter I really added so that when you don't have it on, it still looks nice and cute. But the glitter also adds something to it when it's shining like this. It just makes you feel nice and warm. Now I'm holding it in my hand only because these are fake candles. They're LED candles, so don't hold your candle. If you have a real candle, don't hold it in your hand because you don't want to get burned. But I really like the different colors with the LED lights, so that's why I have LED lights on them. So I hope that you enjoyed our project today, the leaf candle holder, and made with real leaves. I really like this project. I love using the beautiful stuff that's already outside. I like that this is all recycled. Everything on here is recycled, minus the Dollar Tree little leaf things that I bought, or the tissue paper, but that's really minimal. And it doesn't even need to be on there. So this is fantastic. Something you can do at home, something to brighten stuff up. I love things that brighten things up. We really need beautiful things and nice things around us and things that make us smile now. So I hope you enjoyed it. This is Miss Andrea. I will see you later.